And so it's that reaction that
Well, let me throw at you a couple of quick snappers, which are myths, and have you quickly respond, and then we can move on. A career in the trades, it's very, very, very physical work, and probably not for everyone.
Sure, it's physical, but I've never had to work out at a gym. I think, we have machinery, and one of the things about being a woman in the trades is that, I certainly don't have the brawn as most of the guys do, but I use my head and get a dolly.
You're saying the guys couldn't quite get that concept as quickly as...
Well, I remember one week we were working and we were lifting cement blocks like crazy, and some of the guys were doing 4 at a time, and I was doing my 2, and I had to do, a couple of trips, but on Friday I was still at work. So I don't think you need the brawn. I think you need to have brains to be in the trades.
And particularly with the kind of trades and the technology that is evolving. Many, many trades that were outside lifting are now working on a computer board, are they not?
Yes.
All right, here's another one. Earning potential. Sure, you're going to make 25 bucks, 30 bucks when you first start, but it's a dead end. You're going to be making that kind of money when you're 40 and 50. Wait a minute, you're making 105 at 22.
Yeah.
Not yet,
but pretty soon. Yeah. So who wants to comment on the earning potential?
The earnings potential has its cycles, like many other industries when you find downturns in certain parts of the economy. But overall, the trades, certainly in Canada for the last 50 years, I think have served those that have been involved in the trades well, as far as being able to own a home and support a family and give their kids opportunity. I don't see it as anybody ever being down on their luck financially from choosing trades as a career. It's always been good for people, and you can expand and move on, and it's unlimited opportunity if you want to pursue it.
All right. Let's move to an area now, conscious of our time, that we find that the average profile of an apprentice in Canada, I believe, is 28 years old, white, male. What about women? What about Aboriginals? What about immigrants? Maybe we could start off, Joanne, with why is it that women are still so underrepresented, aside from the service trades and hairdressing and so forth? If you actually take those numbers out, it's pretty low. I believe it's 2-3%. Why is that, and what fundamentally needs to shift for us to address that?
I think one of the biggest problems is that we don't give little girls toolboxes to play with, that we don't encourage them from birth, that they can do anything that they choose. We gear them to go down certain avenues, reception, administration, nursing, healthcare, all of that. But, most of the time I give gifts to my little girlfriends, I always make sure that it's a toolbox or it's a hammer or a saw or something that they can manipulate with their hands. And I think women, for me, I was 15 years behind the guys by the time I got into trades because it was the first time I picked up a hammer at 18. So I think if we started earlier, started in grade school teaching young girls that they can do anything and literally giving them the tools to do it, I think that would open up more doors.
And do you find yourself, maybe not by choice, but as a role model?
Oh, I never think of myself as a role model, but I love working with my hands. I love being in the trades. It's opened avenues for me that I don't think I would have ever. Look at the table I'm sitting at, right? So it was. I've gone places where no one else in my family has because of the trades. And so I would encourage any young woman that if they're thinking of going into a new career to choose trades, because there's places you can go. I'm a teacher now. I never thought in a million years I would be teaching trades. So I think it's a wonderful opportunity for young women and men.
Now, from the perspective of the undergender, any comments on what we need to be doing to ensure that we are getting more women into the trades?
Continuing to promote it at the high school level, letting them know the opportunities are there. It doesn't have to be a dirty, heavy job. There's a lot of different trades with different applications in each one, and there's so many different groups out there that don't participate in the trades to their full potential. And just keep continuing on with the education at the high school level in information and communication.
Now, Julian, what about you and some of your friends who are women? Do you find that they're seriously considering possibly?
Yes.
They are.
In fact, a good friend of mine in Fort St. John is doing an apprenticeship in carpentry. And I've worked with lots of women in the oil patch, and most of them find it quite enjoyable work, actually. So if, for women out there, just give it a chance, apply for the job, try it out. If you enjoy the outdoors or any of that, it's actually very welcoming, and everybody has their skills and talents, and there's a place for everyone. They're very, what's the word? They're useful to have around. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I've learned things from watching women at work, like heavy lifting techniques. I'd rather use my muscles if that's what I've learned to do. But
So you
they
just
do
learned
the
something.
odd thing that makes you scratch your head, and you're just like,
They say that women are better at some tasks than men.
that's what I'm saying.
That's, and you think that's true? And they also say, see how far he's going to go with me on this one, that it's usually the higher order thinking skills that women are better than at men. Would you go that far, Julian?
Be careful.
Maybe, I don't know. It's just, it seems to work really well having both women and men in the field.
Oh
'Cause
boy,
it's
the welding thing doesn't work out. There's always politics for you, buddy. And I meant that in a good way. Another group that of course, is underrepresented, and we've heard a lot about it from Minister Solberg and some of the work that is being done cross-jurisdictionally, are Aboriginal Canadians. Huge, huge potential there. Now, Julian, your mother is Haida.
Yes.
Do you have some thoughts in terms of what barriers there may be that we need to address to ease the pathway for more Aboriginal people to get into the skilled trades?
I think a major